I'm James Lynch, and this is my stock report for UFC 316, taking a look at the biggest winners and losers from the event. And this was an easy one. Biggest stock riser on this card has got to be Morab Dvalishvili, getting it done in the rematch with Sean O'Malley, getting the finish. That was sort of the big thing, right? Is that Morab, the finish has sort of eluded him a lot of fights. The last time he submitted someone, I believe, 2017 against Marlon Moraes. So to go out there and get this rematch with O'Malley, get the finish, and look even better. I mean, really good striking. Takedowns were on point, got a nice slam in this fight as well. Morab just looked incredible, and I think he won a lot of people over, and it was really cool in my live chat tonight to see so many people acknowledge that and talk about how great Morab is and how he's the GOAT and all this different stuff. So to me, when we look back on this card, you know, maybe not the strongest pay-per-view we've had, a lot of people will look back and talk about Morab's performance in this fight. Outstanding win over Sean O'Malley. He's closed the chapter, hopefully on a fight on the sort of rivalry with Sean O'Malley, and we could sort of get past this and look ahead here. But Morab Dvalishvili's stock went up big time. Let's hope it's Corey Sandhagen next. If not, there's a few other interesting names in the division, but Morab Dvalishvili, easily the biggest stock riser on this card. Okay, second biggest stock riser on this card. These are kind of obvious ones, but I mean, I like to factor in context a lot, and these are some big names that were on this card. Second biggest stock riser has got to be Kayla Harrison. Did exactly what she was supposed to do as a minus 750 favorite, going in there, getting the second round submission. She won the first round, had Pena on her back. Pena gets a point taken away for the up kick. Second round, gets Pena on the ground again. This time lands in a submission. 5 seconds left, and she submits Juliana Pena. And the other thing we got to look at here is because she won this fight and got the title, Kayla Harrison now is going to be fighting Amanda Nunes. Like, that's a huge fight that wouldn't have happened if Kayla lost this fight. So many big things here for Kayla. Her stock goes up big time. Again, she gets the finish. She gets the belt. She makes 135. That was another big thing, right? First fight making 135 on the dot. We'll see how much longer she fights at 135. I think it's going to be kind of tough. But either way, Kayla Harrison, big stock riser on this card because she's got the biggest fight in women's MMA right now. She's going to be fighting Amanda Nunes. Like, say what you want about the fight. That is the biggest fight you can make right now in women's MMA. Other than maybe like Valentina and Wei Li, that's still a pretty big fight if they do end up making that one. But Nunes coming out of retirement to fight Kayla Harrison. Very interesting fight. Big win there for Kayla Harrison. Third biggest stock riser on this card. People might disagree and push back on this, but I don't care. He performed very well and he exceeded our expectation. And that's Mario Batista. Really good performance over Patchy Mix. I did a video on this already tonight. You can find it here on the channel where I looked at the striking stats, but he outlanded Patchy Mix. He made Patchy Mix look like he didn't belong in the UFC tonight. He looked great. And again, this is a guy who's 15-2, really nice win streak, 8 wins in a row, maybe the most underrated fighter in the bantamweight division right now. He is going to get a big fight after this. He got Patchy Mix. I think the plan, obviously, if you're the UFC is, you know, bring Patchy in. Hopefully Patchy can beat Mario. He doesn't do that. So Mario's going to get another big fight after this. You can't deny him anymore. 8 straight wins. Would have been nice to see him get the finish, but he did well against Patchy. And again, I don't think this was a boring fight. He didn't push Patchy up against the cage and try and stall. He actually, stood and traded with Patchy Mix and ended up paying off well for him there. So Mario Batista has to be a stock riser on this card because he just keeps moving up the rankings. This guy hasn't lost since, I think, 2019? When was the loss to Trevin Jones? Which, let's be honest, he fights Trevin Jones again 9 times out of 10. He beats him. That was back in March of 2021. So it's been a while. Mario Batista, big stock riser on this card. Okay, honorable mentions. There could be a few here. Let's highlight Kevin Holland. I know I don't give Kevin Holland enough credit on my show. I'll give him credit today. That was a good submission win over Vicente Luque. His stock goes up in the sense that he just, finished a ranked opponent here. Let's hope that Holland stays at 170 and not 185. I think he's better suited for this weight class. The fact that he went out there and got the finish, and he's only a year younger than Luque, I think is promising. He's big for the division at 6'3" with an 81-inch reach. Like, I think only like Shavkat and Ian Gary are over 6 feet. So that looks good. So we'll see if Holland can build off this and get some momentum. He was talking a little smack on Bilal Muhammad. Maybe that's a fight down the line that could happen. But you got to acknowledge Holland as an honorable mention. He ends up getting the performance of the night bonus. Well-deserved for Kevin Holland. Really good performance tonight. Got to talk about the guy who fought before him, Joshua Van. What a win that was. Taking out Bruno Silva. I thought he was going to finish Silva in the second round. Third round, he gets it done. That's the big thing for Van, is that I know a lot of his fights have gone the distance. Going out there and getting a finish that is a big stock riser, especially in a division like flyweight where, we're waiting for some fighters to break through here. Van is certainly one of those guys, 23 years old and getting big wins like this over Bruno Silva. He's got to get an honorable mention too. And last but not least, Azamat Murzakanov getting the win over Bradenson Ribeiro. His stock goes up just for the simple fact he's undefeated. He got a first round finish. He was pretty favored in this fight. How much was he? He was, minus 770. Okay, well, again, you get a first round finish. That looks good. I just think they were really talking about him on the broadcast. That's going to play into this too. Big fight ahead. He wants a main event. I love the fact fact that he's like, give me a 5-round fight. I think that he played his cards well there. Yeah, let's hope he gets a big fight. I think like Jan or Rakic or someone like that would be fun for him next. So yeah, Azamat Murzakanov, big win there tonight on the card. He gets an honorable mention from me. There's a lot of good performances. I mean, got to quickly mention you getting the however you say it, 28-second win. He's got to get one mention there. Yeah, there's some good performances here tonight. Okay, biggest stock dropper. No shocker here. Thumbnail gives it away. But even if the thumbnail didn't give it away, you have to go this way, and it's got to be Patchy Mix. Listen, a lot of people tonight, the narrative is, all the Bellator fighters suck. Look, there's some good Bellator fighters that have come over here, okay? Eddie Alvarez came from Bellator. He won a UFC title. Come on. I'm not going to sit here and talk smack on Bellator. Here's the thing with Patchy, though. He fought good opposition in Bellator, and he beat them. Magomedov, very good fighter. Rafael Sot's good fighter, 19-1. Sergio Pettis, 23-5. These were good opponents in Bellator. So I think it wasn't that crazy of a pick to take him over Mario Batista in this fight. Now, if you watch my breakdown this week, I didn't think he was going to finish Mario Batista. I think this fight was going to be close. I didn't expect Batista to make it so one-sided. But yeah, he can't get it done. And, you know, there are levels to this, right? So Batista, I think, is... listen, this was a perfect storm because what it was a guy in Bellator who was, you know, looking very good, hadn't lost in years, but there were a couple key things that people missed. Number one, people didn't like Batista because of the Aldo fight, so people were already underrating him because of that. And I think people forgot, it's been a while since Mix has fought, right? May of 2024. I think a bit of cage rust might have come into this, but the fact of the matter is Mix is in his prime right now at 31. He just had a fight where, I mean, arguably one of the worst UFC debuts we've seen in a while, right? So that's like, had he won tonight, I think there could have been a case for him fighting Morab. There's the whole storyline. They've trained together, all that. That's what he lost tonight. And now it's like, I don't even know who he fights next. Like I suggested Chito Vera. I think that fight makes sense. That was the fight that was supposed to happen with Mario Batista. I think that makes sense. But the fact of the matter is Patchy's 31. He's got to get going here. Like he needs to bounce back in a big way. Otherwise, all that momentum he had in Bellator is going to be down the drain and not going to come over to the UFC very well. So Patchy Mix, biggest stock dropper, no questions asked. Okay, second biggest stock dropper on this card. I have to mention her. She wasn't supposed to win, but actually, no, sorry. She's number 3. You know who I'm talking about. Number 2 has got to be Sean O'Malley. How could I forget? Sean O'Malley's stock goes down big time not because he didn't win. I mean, obviously, I did see actually a lot of people picking Sean O'Malley. And, you know, I think he was like a 2-1 underdog or something along those lines around there. He was plus 230. It's the fact that he's now in this weird limbo spot where he's lost twice to the champ. And it's a champ in Morab Dvalishvili who does not look like he's going to lose anytime soon. So he's kind of in that same spot that Max Holloway was in when he fought Volk. Like, I really don't think we're going to get a third fight with Morab for the simple fact that, in my opinion, he's lost 2 fights decisively. I didn't think the first fight was close, and this fight was even worse. I thought Morab dominated this even more, and he ends up getting the finish. So what's left for O'Malley? I did a video on this. I think O'Malley should look to fight Henry Cejudo. I think that's the only appealing fight at 135 right now. People have talked about him fighting Umar. Why? Umar would do the exact same thing to O'Malley that O'Malley did. Umar would do the same thing to O'Malley that Morab did, basically, I think. So I don't think there's any point in doing that fight. Yeah, to me, it's Cejudo, maybe Song Yadong, but I think O'Malley's best bet is moving up. Let's see what he can do at 145. It's a new division. He's a former champion. There might be some leeway there. I think that's the next move for O'Malley, is moving up to 145. Yeah, big stock drop there for O'Malley for the simple fact he's now lost twice to the champ. Third one, I kind of revealed it there. It's Juliana Pena. Again, wasn't expected to win this fight. She was a big underdog here, but it's the fact of the matter is she lost her title. It's going to be hard for her to get a title shot again. We'll see. Because I don't think she beat Raquel Pennington, right? Like, I thought that fight should have gone her way. Like, does she beat a Ketlin Vieira? Does she beat a Macy Chasson? Like, I don't know. That's what we're going to find out. It's been a while since Juliana's sort of fought down a bit, right? So we'll see how she does, but she's 35. That's another thing. Like, she's not getting any younger. Pena's stock took a big drop just for the simple fact she's not champ anymore. Okay, let's get to some honorable mentions here. Going to wrap this up pretty quickly because it's late over here on the West Coast. Vicente Luque, it's got to be a stock dropper. Big win over Temba Garimbo, where he was an underdog. Now he comes in here and he gets choked out in the second round. I don't know how much longer we're going to see Luque fight in the UFC. He's kind of getting to that point if he keeps getting finished where they're going to have to release him. So Luque is a big stock dropper. And last, but certainly not least, as an honorable mention, how about Sergey Spivak? Now, I thought he won this fight personally. I had him 29-28, but the optics are that he was on a nice sort of path leading into this fight. Let's find the record there. Whoops, I just got rid of it. Let's bring it back. There we go. Heading into this fight, I forgot he lost the fight to Jalton in between there. So yeah, he's lost three of 3 of his last 4. Not good optics there. This was a guy at one point when he had the nice win streak, had the win over Derek Lewis. Looked like there was some promise there. That's all out the window now with 3 losses in his last 4 fights. So his stock drop stops as well. I'm stumbling over my words. This is when you know I got to get out of here. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Give me your top 3 stock risers, top 3 stock droppers. I'd love to know where you're going on this. Give me your reasoning, all that stuff. Because again, this is all just your whatever criteria you want to use. I'm focusing a lot on sort of the circumstances around every fighter as to why I place them where they are. My name is James Lynch. This is a stock report. I do this after every single UFC event. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll talk to you guys on Monday for the UFC Atlanta preview show.